everybody. Me and Fluffy were watching the news this morning, and that crazy weather lady said something about snow tonight. So I think we're gonna shift gears away from the old Massey Ferguson, back over to a John Deere. What do you say, Fluffy? Okay, good enough for me. As you can see, I have 3 snowmobiles to pick from. But I only used 2 of them last year. So that means we got to start the heaviest, oldest one, because it hasn't run. This is my 1977 John Deere Cyclone 340. Now this is a cool old sled in its own way. It's got a little smaller motor. It's only the 340, but I tell you what, this thing will keep up with my 440, no problem. It's got a reed valve motor in it, and honest to God, believe it or not, 600 original miles. Now last year we only had about one day where I could really get any good snowmobile riding in, and me and my daughter decided to ride those 2 because they'd been started already, and well, I'm lazy and they were a lot lighter to drag out than this guy. This thing's heavy. This thing is an absolute boat anchor, but we're going to try to be prepared for the snow, and let's fire this thing up and see what happens. See what's going on in here. Normally this wouldn't be a bad job, but I know a fellow that when he got done driving it a couple of years ago, just parked her in the corner and said, "I'll get to it." So now I got to go through everything and make sure it'll work. How about that? Tools. We're going to start. First thing, I'm going to pull the carburetor off, give it a good thorough cleaning, and then I think we'll put some new gas in it, make sure the fuel pump is pumping fuel, and yep. A little snort start on these is a really bad idea. We got a 40-plus-year-old 2-cycle motor here that's still in original condition, and I'd like to keep it that way, so we're gonna do the right thing here. Don't use starting fluid on snowmobiles. Save it for diesels and old pickup trucks and lighting your barbecue grill and everything else you shouldn't use starting fluid on. It's kind of like beer. If you got 2 or 3 of them sitting around, well, you're going to use them. Let's do this right. Oh, hi. Bye. Okay, here we go. That looks pretty good. got you set up over my shoulder here to show you just how simple one of these little carburetors can be. If you're afraid to dig into one of these, don't be, because I'm telling you, they're just about the simplest thing. First thing I like to do is get some gloves on. That's better. Okay. Now, get yourself some brake cleaner or carb cleaner, whatever you want. Free country, I don't care. Give the outside a little drink first. Watch out for your cat. Find the dirtiest wire brush in your toolbox you can find with the smallest possible wires, because that's the only one I've got. It doesn't have to be perfect, just get most of the grime off of it. Or some of the grime, just best you can. There, just like brand new. Okay, this is your idle speed control. Generally, you're going to want to leave that right alone until you've actually got the sled running and you want to adjust the idle speed. This is your idle mixture screw. What I like to do with these is count the amount of turns it takes to turn them back in, and keep that number in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 1/4 half turns. So we'll put it right back in the same way it came out. And the spring. There's always a spring in there too. Take a look at it. Make sure it's clean. If it's not clean, clean it. Okay, now we got to take the bowl off. Kitty, what in the world are you doing? You might want to hold it upright, because if there's anything in the bowl, it's going to come right out at you. At least this will keep it from spilling all over the place. Work her down. Okay. I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's some stuff that kind of looks like Crisco cooking oil and dirt and chunks. No problem. Pull the floats. Clean all that crap out of there. There's a little what looks to be rust inside of here. That's been in there before. It's been a long time. It's not going to come out. So this is about as clean as I can expect that to be. Spray the floats off good. Back in they go. Set that aside for now. Ooh, mercy. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the inside of your carburetor, because you're going to have chunks of Good stuff in there. Inspect your needle valve, which is this guy right here. Now you can see it goes up and down as the floats. So it's not sticking. That's going to work just fine. Now where you do want to pay special attention, pilot jet and your main jet. If either of those are plugged, you're not going anywhere. There we go. Now the pilot's full of little tiny holes, and if any of those are plugged up, it won't idle, it'll run like crap. %90 of the time when it won't start, it's because of this little guy right here. Okay. Sometimes if you have to, you can get a little, like a piece of wire from a twist tie or something. You can somewhat shoot those through there, but this one's, if you hold it right up to a light and you can see light through it, it's good. You're gonna want to take your cleaner. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not, but good. Main jet, same thing, except it's got a bigger hole, so generally you don't have to pull it out unless it's really plugged up, but that's clear. The breather holes, perfect. Shoot a little bit in here. Yep. This carburetor is clear. Now all you got to do is just put everything back together the exact same way you took it apart and put it back in the sled. You can just watch this video in reverse and I'm sure that'll show you. But we're going to speed this along just a touch. Okay, well, I guess this is the moment of truth. Carb's on. Fuel system's primed. It's pumping fuel. Let's give it 333 tugs and see what happens. Well, I guess now all we need is a little bit of snow. Oh yeah. Here. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It sure does help me out. Guess we'll put this away till tomorrow morning. We'll see you next time. Fluffy! That cat's everywhere.